Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Another exciting show and another exciting guest. Listen to this. Being musically gifted, self-taught, multiple instruments, guitar, keyboard, drums, and you're self-taught. But you want to perform. But the tripped out part about it is you don't have that beast mindset developed yet to perform live. But you want to do that. Today on the show, we have a young lady is definitely one of the best upcoming musicians that I've ever seen, from playing the drums, guitar, keyboard, and she's now taking the bull by the horn and performing live. Let's welcome to the stage, Miss Amy Wolfe. Amy, what's going on?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show.
You know, I can't imagine being a musician and a talented musician and being afraid to go and perform live with people. But before that, answering that question, tell the viewers a little about who you are.
Okay, well, my name's Amy, and I actually live in Napa, California. And I have set forth a journey in my, let's say, older years to challenge myself and break free from old habits, bad habits, and some good habits, and just kind of modify certain areas of my life so I can be more fulfilled.
When did music come into you? You're self-taught. You just have a natural ability to play not only one musical instrument, but several. How did all that come about? Did you grow up in a family that was musicians as well?
Well, actually, my dad played guitar and he sang and he played piano. So I kind of grew up in that family environment, always listening and watching my dad play. It was constant. So I think that had a lot to do with it. I've always owned like a guitar, but it was kind of more like a living room decoration for so many years, like literally decades. And then at one point in my life, I just decided to pick it up one day. And that's kind of how it started. I just picked it up and I didn't put it back down.
What was you playing when you picked it up?
Well, I was just kind of playing scales and just kind of, messing around with the strings, getting the feel of it, practicing, just moving around the guitar and making different sounds. Probably is kind of how it started.
Did you consult with your father about all of a sudden you taking up interest in playing these instruments?
No, I did not. My dad is much older and he's kind of set in his ways and he doesn't play guitar as much because of his arthritis. And I talked to him a little bit about it and he thought it was, great and fun and everything. But it was really in my own self journey. I was just, I just kind of deep dove into it basically.
When did you decide to take it to the next level? Because if you follow you on social media, you are playing with other musicians, but it wasn't that easy for you because you had a fear of doing that. So when did it what was the fear first? Let's start there. What was the fear of performing live for you?
I think for me, it was just being in front of people always kind of terrified me. I was always shy growing up. So it was the fear of making a fool out of, out of yourself, going on stage, messing up, maybe forgetting your parts, playing in the wrong key. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. So I think that was the thing that kind of held me back. So I started reaching out to local musicians around town so I could get used to playing with other people just in general, just kind of jamming out. And that kind of was the first step of kind of getting over, you know, messing up, playing loud, being amplified with other people. I mean, it's kind of fun. It is also a little terrifying in the beginning because, you know, I mean, I'm a woman, so most of the people I was playing with are males, and the people that I did play with locally were very well established musicians. They've been playing forever. So here I am, basically a newbie, but everybody's been really good to me.
How difficult was it for you? Tell me about that first experience.
Well, I was just terrified. Just, I think what happens is once you actually start playing with somebody else, the second you actually have to play, you focus. All of a sudden, you just kind of transform. You're not thinking about anything else around you. You're only thinking about what you're doing. And I think that's kind of what happened to me is you just get into it and then eventually you start to loosen up and then you just kind of start to open up and then you can be creative. But it's just getting into it is probably the first step, right?
Now you said you're self-taught. So self-taught, does that mean you also know how to read music as well?
Yeah, that's what so at first I started playing piano and I did buy a bunch of music books and I did teach myself how to read music first. It was really hard. I just stuck at it. I would wake up in the morning and the first thing I would do is start to practice, like literally with my coffee, brain just barely functioning. And I did that every single day. And I practiced and practiced and practiced. Even when I didn't know what I was doing or what I was learning, I just stumbled through it and I just kept at it until I figured it out. And it was an interesting process because at some point the light bulbs just clicked and all of a sudden everything opened up. I saw it. I was like, wow, okay, I get it now. I'm getting it. So it just kind of you just have to kind of go past your comfort level, and just keep at it.
So do you think that was probably one of your fears is the fact that maybe you didn't bring that skill set to a band that you couldn't read versus being self-taught?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that involved. I mean, there's a lot of little details that you don't really think about until you actually have to, maybe work with somebody else, because you just don't know until you know. The first time I played with somebody, I didn't know how it goes. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to jam with somebody. I didn't know like when to come in, what the beat was supposed to be, what the tempo was supposed to be, or what key we're even in. So once you start deep diving and you start memorizing notes, where they're located, what keys work, it really just opens up the door.
What was the difficult journey for you on that first encounter? I mean, they know you was coming in as a newbie. Like, what was your biggest challenge? Was it understanding how they wrote, their way they composed their music? What was it like for you that was difficult?
Yeah, I think just not knowing what I was walking into and what to expect because everybody plays different styles of music. So at that point, I was just open to anything. I just wanted to play. And I naturally wanted to play lead guitar, not really rhythm. But, you have to learn rhythm to play lead. But I always just wanted to jam out and play lead guitar and start wailing out on solos. That was kind of my goal in general. I just couldn't help myself. So,
What do you mean welling out on solo? You trying to do a Peter Frampton or something?
yeah, something like that. I really enjoy a lead guitarist. I like doing solos. That's my favorite thing.
Who's your favorite guitarist? Yeah, I give you three. No, I give you four.
Well, I think growing up, Steve Vai was a big influence. Um, Nita Strauss, she's a female guitarist. She's was a huge influence on me being a woman, knowing that like in a way, like if she could do it, I always thought, well, hell, I can do it. I mean, I'm not going to be at her level, but she definitely was a huge influence for me. I really like Joe Satriani as well. And then, I've always enjoyed Mick Mars of Motley Crue. I think it's mostly because I grew up listening to Motley Crue, and he does have a lot of bluesy riffs to him. So I think those four were probably the most influential.
I'm surprised you didn't say the guy from Guns N' Roses and the guy from Journey and more importantly, Jimi Hendrix, and last but not least, Prince.
Right, right. No, they're all great. I know. I think it's just because I kind of grew up listening to these other bands, and then later when I actually picked up guitar, I was listening to Nita Strauss, and she was really like one day I was watching her video, and she kind of it was before I actually I actually was deep diving guitar. And when I saw her jamming out, I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. And I think that's really what crossed the line for me. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
How many bands have you, since you've done coming out of your comfort zone? What's that like, and how many other bands have recognized your potential and really want to gravitate to you coming to be a part of their bands?
Well, I mean, it's just a handful. It's really, I've never pursued like being like going out on tour and like being married into a band. I've mostly just been, let's just jam out. It's mostly locals. So there's a lot of interest because there's tons of local musicians everywhere you go that like to play. People just want to play. So it's just, I haven't really found, I haven't really been interested in actually like touring or anything like that. It's just really kind of a hobby for me. It kind of just helps me maintain my stress level and it's just fun.
What is their response when they realize that not only do you play the rhythm guitar, the lead guitar, but you also are a drummer in the keyboard? I mean, you bring a multifacet to anybody that wants to what you call jam out.
Yeah. I think it's fun. I think people dig it because we can do different things together. And it just kind of just brings the bar up a little bit,
Which
you know.
instrument do you like the best, though?
What was that?
What instrument do you like the best?
Guitar.
Over the drums?
Well, that's funny because when I first started, I really thought I was going to be a drummer and then playing music, that is. I don't know. And then for some reason, when I picked up the guitar, just took over. That's all I thought about. That's all I wanted to do. I was obsessed. I was literally obsessed on guitar. I still am. So I like the guitar.
What's your favorite part of what's your favorite part of the guitar? Like when you're playing it, like do you like like I like playing the bass. I can play the lead guitar, but it hurts my fingers when I try to hit those licks. The
Yeah.
bass just was like it was like so cool. I can barely thump a string and it just made beautiful noise. The guitar was different. It's like I literally had to work it. What's your take on that? What is it about the lead guitar that draws you to it?
I know, right? I mean, the thing with the guitar is there's just so much you can do with it. It's just powerful. You can create so many different sounds based off your mood alone. You can go heavy, you can go light, you can make yourself feel things. It's like an endless maze of riffs that you can do and create. And then when you bring in other you bring in other sounds with it, like a bass or even just a bass, it bring so much depth into the music. So I think guitar to me really is the glue that makes us like a really good song, a powerful, powerful guitar. And it's just so beautiful. All guitar music can be just amazing.
What makes you different than the other women? I know you look at other women, some have more experience and some may have less, but what makes you different as an artist?
Makes me different. Well, let's see. Well, I don't have any ego attached to it. I just do what I do with when I'm feeling it. I don't really have a lot of expectations. Like I go with the flow. I'm really easy to work with. I just like to basically have fun and not it's supposed to be a fun practice. It's not supposed to be stressful. So I think my view on it is I'm just coming at it like I'm not here to like make money with it. That's not why I started playing. I'm not here to like play in front of thousands of people. I don't have that ego. That's off the table. So I'm actually coming into it with a really pure sense, a pure form of just wanting to experience whatever's being created at the moment. So I think that might set me apart from some people. It's a different practice for me.
Now let's talk about your fitness journey. You're getting ready to, are you currently a personal trainer? How are you combining the two together?
Yeah, I know, right? I am a personal trainer. The thing about being a personal trainer and being in the fitness world, because I'm not just a personal trainer, I actually am a fitness instructor and I teach Pilates instruction and yoga as well. So all that type of the fitness journey is very, very different than the musical journey. They're like apples and oranges to me because I mostly play music at night and most of my fitness stuff is during the morning. So it's really opposites, you
What made
know.
you decide to be a personal trainer?
Well, I've been working out all my life, literally since I was 15 years old. And I always go to the gym. It's just what I do. It's always been that way. It's never been any different. And I've always also been very much in shape. And I started realizing at some point that most of the time when I was working out at a gym, everybody just assumes I'm a trainer. People just think I even work at the gym because I'm usually there for like, 3 hours or so. And people are always asking me questions. It was constant. And then at one point, it just kind of clicked. I was like, you know what? I should be a trainer because I can help people. And that's basically how it started is I wanted to help people and motivate people and give advice and make workouts and assist because a lot of people don't know what they're doing or they're doing exercises incorrect and their potential for injury to themselves as well.
Give me an example of some injury exercises that men and women are doing that could injure themselves.
Well, yeah, the Romanian deadlift is a good one. A lot of people will do that one with too much weight. They'll hinge, they'll round their back, and they'll bend. They'll hinge down with a rounded back. And they'll probably be using a heavy, heavy weight. And when you do something like that, you can just tweak out your back instantly, and cause a lot of back pain. I just think people in general just don't know the proper form. A lot of people will lock their knees when they're doing certain moves instead of, doing a slight bend on their knees. And basically the whole goal is to protect yourself from injury. And also, most importantly, I think one of the biggest things that people do is they injure their lower back doing incorrect moves.
How did all this make you better at coming out of your shell to be a musician and to perform live? At the end of the day, that was your biggest obstacle to overcome. So how did years as a trainer translate over to giving you courage to do what you really wanted to do, which is perform?
Yeah, I think, when I start, it's so easy to get into these habits of being like, I don't know, maybe not as social as you can be. Nowadays, people are on their phones, they're not talking as much. I think because I was so shy most of my life that when I started expressing myself with music and then when I started doing fitness, obviously you have to work with people doing fitness, you just develop more confidence because you're speaking, you're instructing, people are listening to you. So I think they kind of go hand in hand. It's really about building that confidence within yourself to be able to talk to people and convey messages that they'll understand and relate to.
Now that you've built your level of confidence and you're performing live, you're running, keeping people fitness conscious, what's next for you?
That's a really good question. I'm doing a lot of classes, so I'm building up more classes that I'm teaching every day. But what's next for me? I'm not really sure where my journey is going to be. I might start a YouTube channel. I was thinking about that. I'm running out of time though in a day, so I don't want to do too much where I get burnt out. So I'm trying to find that perfect balance. I think balance is really key in just in general in life.
Sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff in the fire, and I don't see nothing but great things happening to you now and in the future. And congratulations for finally getting that beast mindset and going up on the stage and perform. What's that like for you? Are you really enjoying it?
Yeah, yeah, it's so fun, And it's interesting because I'm always nervous before I go on stage. Like I feel like I'm gonna like barf out. Like it's always that initial feeling. So I'm usually before I go on stage, I'm just like practicing and practicing, getting my fingers loose and stuff. But then once you hit the stage, it's just like a transformation. You just become you're just in it to win it basically, and you're just doing it.
What's
So it
what's your
is a
stage name? You said something else. You turn into your own Spider-Man. What's your stage name that you go by?
it's Summer West is my state.
So you go west when you're on the stage. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's kind of funny.
How can the viewers reach out to you and support you and follow your career?
Well, I am on Instagram. I am at actually my Instagram handle is a Wolf Fitness, and that's actually my fitness handle. And then I do have a Facebook account that's under Summer West, so that's for the musician part of it. So I do have it separated.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking time out to share such a beautiful story of perseverance and overcoming and keeping that beast mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you click subscribe, follow. Sometimes all it takes is a click of that button to change somebody's life as well as your own. This has been another, and I do mean another, exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show.